Hello and welcome to the United Stand. We're live Saturday morning with a bonus transfer daily. A lot of this revolves around Jose Mourinho's updated comments from the press conference last night. This happens quite a lot where the press conference will be at 1:30 or 5 o'clock, but they won't release further detail until 10:30 on the evening. The major news was that Michael Carrick will retire at the end of the season and then take up a first team coaching position, which has been offered to him if he accepts it. But that's not the shocker. That's not the transfer shocker that has sent many Manchester United fans into almost meltdown. Very, very frustrated in relation to something Jose Mourinho said about Manchester United's transfer plan. We'll be talking about that, what he said about Andreas Pereira, and a few other things on this morning. A very busy day for the United Stand today. We'll be live again at 2 o'clock with the team news right the way through till full time. Then we'll be taking Skype calls, taking your thoughts on the game, the Burnley game, what you thought about Alexis Sanchez, and fan cams up this evening. So a big day. Stick with us. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. But let's kick on with Jose Mourinho's comments from last night. The second time, for those people who've been observant and listening to the United Stand, this is the second time Jose Mourinho has said this in the space of 2 weeks, that there will be 3 transfers maximum in the summer, and if they sign one, i.e. Alexis Sanchez, this January, that will be 3 minus 1. So if we do sign Sanchez, there'll only be 2 signings in the summer, which, if you go, Mourinho said this twice now, if he did go and get another signing in January, that would be 2 minus 3, or 3 minus 2, 1 in the summer. Many Manchester United fans not happy about that, saying that we need far more than 3 signings to come into this side if we want to win the Champions League, if we want to win the Premier League. It's not enough. There's too many issues with that squad. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but it is interesting. Just on Alexis Sanchez, because I don't really want to talk about him now until he signs, because he will sign, and it could be any moment. He was part of the Arsenal squad last night, about 11 o'clock. Something happened with the deal, and he left and said his goodbyes. Mkhitaryan has already said his goodbyes, so we're now into that sort of delivery suite, if you think of it like a baby. When will it be delivered? Anytime, anytime. I wouldn't expect it to be before United Burnley. Maybe around 8:30 tonight. I remember we announced Lindelof on a Saturday night at that time. Potentially just do it tomorrow. You've got a whole free day to do it. Or maybe wait till Monday morning. We will see. But as we've said to you all week, very relaxed, Alexis Sanchez will be a United player. But let's bring it back to something a little bit different for Alexis Sanchez for a bit. So Jose Mourinho are basically saying that if we get Sanchez now, we will only buy 2 in the summer. 2 weeks ago, he said a striker, a midfielder and a defender, which has caused even more frustration amongst United fans, because we all know, well, maybe we do need a striker, and if Sanchez sort of fills one of the creative positions, we still need a winger or another number 10. We need a midfielder who can play instead of Pogba. We need a replacement for Carrick if he retires. If Fellaini leaves, then we need probably somebody to come in as a fullback. You know, I think United reserve. You know, somebody said to me, "Look, you're sort of having a pop at the United fans who are moaning about what Mourinho said. You always back Mourinho, but you've said yourself you feel that this United side needs at least 4 or 5 signings. If I'm giving my honest opinion on this, which I will do, I do still think that this United side probably needs at least 4 signings to it. But when Jose Mourinho says twice that he's only looking for 3, I believe that that probably is the case. Why say it? Having said that, nothing is ever set in stone, and maybe there will be a different thing to that. I do have a theory. I have a theory about what he might be thinking, and to be honest with you, I think it's exactly what Manchester United fans would be very, very happy with. Because ultimately, we do want to promote youth, and we do want to use players that we currently have that maybe don't get their opportunity as much as they deserve. But, very, very quickly, it is Saturday morning. I would have forgotten this. It just popped into my head. Fan League. I've been talking about it a couple of times this week. The link is in the video description for this. You've got a free credit to play. You've got to play it before 3 o'clock today. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it until next week. All you do is link in the video description, download the app and get yourself playing. You've got 13 fixtures. All you got to do, click play. Manchester United is one of the fixtures. Arsenal Palace, interestingly enough as well. Pick home win, draw or away win for 13 fixtures. Most of them, they're all 3 o'clock fixtures or afterwards. So you've got till about 5 to 3 today to do it. Link in the video description. So Arsenal will win. United better bloody win. Everton, West Brom is probably going to be a draw. That's the only 3 hints I'm going to give you. 13 fixtures to pick. The prize fund at the moment is £13,561. It's going up all the time, and you've got a free credit to play. If you get 13 right, you will win the vast majority of that fund. If you get 12 right, 11 right, or 10 right, you will win as well. It's not in the national lottery. It's dependent on how many other people have won. But if you want a few winners, you can win quite a bit, and it is free to play. You'll also, if you check your community tab, and you like interactive things, go to My Leagues. You'll get an invitation into the United Stand League, which is a weekly thing where your score goes in there and it averages it. So if you've been playing a few weeks, you might have an average score of 8 or whatever like that. But your first week score will be your first week score, and then it'll average after that. So Fan League, link in the video description. Make sure you give it a go. And as I've said before, a free credit to play this week and next week for those people who sign up and do it. Effectively, it's free money from the United Stand and Fan League if you win some. So good luck with that. And obviously, the more people who get involved in it, the more they might give us a few more credits in it next week. So thanks everyone for that. But my theory on Jose Mourinho is pretty much this: that I think if I read it the right way, if we buy Sanchez in January and then he signs 2 players in the summer, and one of those players is a Dybala or a Griezmann, and the other player is, I don't know, say a sort of Seri, a midfielder replacement for Carrick, people are going to say, well, what about when Pogba gets injured? Where's the attacking midfielder to play in that position? And people are going to say, Valencia's old. What happens with him? But what if we get Sanchez in, we get Griezmann, Dybala or Ozil for that sort of attacking, creative position. We bring in a sort of Seri or a Fabinho to replace Carrick. Then you bring Pereira back from Valencia. You bring Fosu Mensah back from Crystal Palace. You've got 2 players who've had amazing experience this season. Fosu Mensah's Palace's best player. Pereira's doing really well at Valencia. Pereira is an attacking midfielder anyway. He could play the Pogba's position, and he can fill in other positions. Fosu Mensah has been playing right back for Palace. He can deputise and take Valencia's position. Luke Shaw is now one of the best left backs in the world, according to Mourinho, and I agree with him. So we don't need to get a left back either. And suddenly you're like, well, what positions do we need to buy in? Martial, Rashford and Lukaku can cover the forward positions. I still think we need somebody who can put a natural cross in. But in addition to that, as I keep saying, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez and a couple of other young lads from the team, from the youth setup, they start coming through. And some of these players that we spent a lot of money on who were like 15, 16, 17 a couple of years ago. Suddenly you think, well, maybe we don't need to go and buy 5 players. Maybe this is a brave new step from United that, yeah, we're only going to add top quality, and that might be 2 players, but the rest of it, we've got Fosu Mensah coming back, we've got Pereira coming back, we've got players coming through, and that's the vision for United, because I think that is the vision for Manchester United. It's abundantly clear to me that you don't go back round nicking players, nicking 16-year-old prodigies from Espanyol and Holland and America and Northern Ireland and Coventry City. You don't go round buying these, really high sought after young kids who were like 15, 16, 17 unless you've got a plan. And we've bought so many. I think United's plan is we don't really want to be paying £200 million for Neymar. We want to create our own, and that, it won't happen with all of them, but I think that is the vision. And certainly, as I keep saying, Tahith Chong, everyone gets excited about Angel Gomez, and they should do, but Tahith Chong, I just think he can be anything he wants to be. Pereira and Fosu Mensah are good enough. I've forgotten to mention Twansibi as well. He's another one. He's ready. Luke Shaw's been speaking about this week. So I understand, and funny enough, Alex was the one I saw, the biggest on Twitter last night, going mad, saying this is ridiculous if we're only going to sign 3 players. It's not enough. But actually, I think it is enough if we're going to do what I would like to see us do, which is give Fosu Mensah and Pereira and Twansibi game time, promote more of these young players through, and the 2 or 3 signing players, the 3 players, one of them Sanchez, if the other 2 are of the quality of Sanchez, then do we need to go and buy 4 or 5 players? I still think we'll see Darmian go, hopefully Fellaini go, Blind go, so, we're erasing the deadwood and bringing in top players. So, you know what? Yeah, I understand the initial shock at Mourinho saying we're only going to bring 2 more players in after Sanchez before August, which you think we'll need more than that. But actually, do we? Do we really? I throw it open to you lot. I think it's a really interesting topic and one that I would throw to you, like I say. Mini Mourner's made a contribution. We need a winger who can cross and a number 10. We do. We do. I mean, that's something they need to sort out. And 2 players, 2 signings is not going to do that if you're talking about a replacement for Carrick and potentially a forward, where's the winger who can cross going to come in? Where's the number 10 who can create? But I don't think the forward will be a sort of, you know, Belotti sort of signing or a Lukaku signing. I think we've got Rashford, we've got Lukaku, and Martial can play that position. I think the forward will be either a Griezmann or a Dybala or a Bale or someone like that. Someone who sort of plays in behind the forward. That's what I think he means by forward. And I think the other signing will be a replacement for Carrick stroke Fellaini, because they will hopefully, well, Carrick will retire and hopefully Fellaini will move on. He did make a comment about Andreas Pereira, which I thought was quite interesting though. I'm a big fan of Andreas Pereira and I'm quite concerned about his future at Manchester United anyway, because of some of the statements he's made about wanting to stay at Valencia this season. Mourinho was asked the question. He said he's getting fantastic experience out there, but he's playing. My concern is he's playing in a position that we don't use. I don't know whether Mourinho's watching Pereira out in Valencia, but he's played right wing, left wing, attacking midfielder. We use all those positions, so I don't know whether Mourinho is starting to drop that seed of negativity so that when Pereira goes, we're not all shocked. But I will be shocked. I'll be really disappointed. He's a really top talent who should be playing for Manchester United next season and part of the first team squad. And if we let him go, it's a mistake. But managers are going to make mistakes. Managers are going to make mistakes. Name one player like Pogba in world football right now who we could try. Not a number 10, just a midfielder who's great at attacking like him, says Binoy. Funnily enough, Goretzka. But Goretzka is gone to Bayern Munich and, you know, it makes me like, well, we're not German, so it doesn't matter. But if Bayern Munich were in our league, I'd love to see what the press would do about them. They basically scoop up anybody who's got any potential in that league and dominate it. And also as well, if we sign 2 players in the summer, you can guarantee, even though Man City don't need to, they'll probably go and sign 6 because that's the sort of approach they take about it. Do we need a goalkeeper? Not if De Gea is saying. Axel Ray. Oh God, you know what? I can't stand people like that. Bye bye, blocked. Make sure you drop a like on the video. We have got watch along at 2 o'clock today. And what do you think of Goretzka, the German Lampard, says Wackass? I think he's really good. I think he's really good, but he isn't going to come to us. Kian says Sanchez gone for his medical today. I think that's very obvious. I think we all know that. Keep an eye on Twitter on United Stand MUFC. We should get Draxler, says Price Sampson. Pereira gets bad advice from his agent, says James FX. Yeah, probably. Somebody says, I don't know why it's a big shock. Maybe get yourself on Twitter, mate, and have a read of it. We don't just make headlines up. I get irritated by that. It was all over Twitter last night. There was a massive meltdown. Loads of United fans going, oh, it's not enough. We need more than 3 signings, this, that, and the other. So we're just, you know, the transfer show effectively is set up every transfer window to react to stories involving Manchester United. And this is a genuine story that Mourinho has said we will only sign 2 players in the summer if we get Sanchez, and a lot of United fans weren't happy about it. Personally, I would sign 4 or 5, but actually, if you flip it the other way and say, well, Fosu Mensah and Pereira are coming back like new signings, promote like Twansibi, get another young lad in, that's 4 new players plus 2 signings, get rid of some deadwood, I'm happy, we're good to go for next season. Mini Morner says forget Alexi, focus on what we need first. It's going to be very hard, Mini Morner, because he's going to be signing very, very soon. I'm happy with Lukaku, Football News World. He says, what do you think of him? Can he become more consistent? I'm happy with Lukaku. I think as an out-and-out striker, if we get the right players around him, he'll be absolutely fine. I still do think I still do think Ozil's a possibility as well. I've got to keep saying it. Kieran Byrne says we need 4 signings. Can Man United still win the league, says Shakir Udin. Funnily enough, I had a dream last night that Man City drew and we beat Burnley, but I didn't realise they were playing Newcastle, and in my dream I think they were playing Stoke. They're home to Newcastle, they'll win today. 12 points can be overcome, but it would be a Herculean effort to do it, and I'm not convinced that we can. The title was gone when we blew it at Old Trafford for me, but, you know, it's not definitely over. It's not definitely over. I'd say we've got a, you know, City have got a 95% chance of winning this title. United have probably got 5%. But if we can win, you know, they've got a home game against Newcastle. They could play with 5 players today and win. And we're away against a difficult Burnley side. I'm really looking forward to it. So the focus is on us. And at the moment, we need to look behind us. If you look at the league, we need to look behind us because one slip and we're pulled into that battle for fourth, which we really don't want to be involved in. That's not what Sanchez left Arsenal for anyway. Can Lukaku be a world-class player? I can't read the username there, but no, he's not going to be world-class. He's just going to be a very good striker. John Cross on Alexis Sanchez. John Cross is quite close to Arsenal, but a lot of people were reporting that last night. What's the shock, says Darren Sweetman. Oh, I'm not going through it again, Darren. It's at the start of the video. Do you think Rashford needs a break, says Viking Red. Oh, there's some stupid stat about Rashford at the moment, though, that he's been involved in every United game this season. And I think they're eager to keep that going, but I think he probably would benefit from a break, especially with the World Cup coming up. All he's going to do is just play every single game for Manchester United. And there was a tweet from United's Twitter account there. I was like, but no, it's just talking about the under-18s playing. I would really like us to sign Pulisic, says Katie Ellis. I don't think Kato Ellis, sorry. I don't think we're looking at a winger. I don't think we're looking at a winger if we're only going to make 2 signings this summer. David Hill makes a good point. Very hard to get 4 or 5 signings in this transfer market. Definitely, you've got the World Cup going on. We'll go on tour in July. It's shortened by the start of the season into mid-August instead of the end of August. We know how long it takes United to do a deal. Look how long this Sanchez deal's taken. So I don't think we can get 4 or 5 players in either. I think we've got to be realistic. I think we needed to use this window, which we have. Thanks for the contribution, 5H1V4M_10. Griezmann is off to Barcelona, I guess, says It's Me, Sia Francis. I don't necessarily think so. I think one of the 2 signings in the summer will be a big signing. Mourinho did say that a few weeks ago. There'll be a marquee signing in the summer. I think one of the 2 signings will be a signing such as Bale, Ronaldo, Dybala, Griezmann. One of those 4 I think will sign for us in the summer, which will be massive. United will make a statement signing. I just don't think we'll make quantity signings. I think we'll make quality signings, which I've got a lot of faith in some of the players that are coming through. Pereira, Fosu Mensah, Twansibi, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez. There's some really good players coming through, and that, you know, ticks more than enough boxes for me. What was I going to say? Yes, remember to have a go on Fan League. The link is in the video description for that. It will take you a couple of minutes and you could win yourself 13 grand. Just got to pick 13 fixtures. Not the scores, just the results. A home, win, draw or away. The link in the video description is for that. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We will go live when Alexis Sanchez signs, but I don't think it will be before kickoff. So the next time we'll be live will be 2 o'clock with the team news for the Burnley watch along. Can't wait for that. Then we're going to be live right the way through from 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Game will finish at about 5 o'clock and my match reaction will become a Skype show for you to call in and have your say on the game and Sanchez. And then from about 7 o'clock tonight, we'll have all the fan cams. So loads going on the United stand. Your opportunity to get involved as well from 5 o'clock with the call-in after the match. Get involved, spread the word of the United stand. Give us your thoughts on this transfer shocker from Mourinho. It sent some people into meltdown, but to be honest, I'm quite pragmatic about it. You know why I'm pragmatic? Because I'm actually very, very impressed by what they've done with Alexis Sanchez. They've been aggressive. They've gone and got one of the best players in the league. And to be honest, I'd rather get quality than quantity. We saw under Louis van Gaal, he went and bought about 6 players, and they were just, you know, coming towards their end of their careers. Falcao was injured. Di Maria was a Real Madrid flop. Blind, Darmian, people like that, you know, risk signings. Look at what Mourinho is doing. Alexis Sanchez, Premier League proven, top class. So I'd rather take quality over quantity, and also believe in some of the players we've got coming back, like Fosu Mensah, Pereira, Twansibi's already here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Speak to you all at 2 o'clock. Team news, big game today. Park Sanchez to the back of your mind. Focus on 3 points for United because we need that support today. See you all at 2 o'clock, and thanks everybody for watching.